Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we have something super interesting for you guys. This is a 2007 Street Glide. All our parts fit a 2009 and up Street Glide. So what we're gonna do today, we're gonna try to make it happen. We might not make all the pieces, like for sure the side covers are not gonna fit, so we didn't even order any side covers for that. Rear fender, the rear fender in 07 is a little bit smaller than in 09, so we're gonna have to cut, weld. What else do we have to do, Jason?
Tuck, pull. We're gonna have to shimmy. We're gonna have to redneck this thing. I'll tell you what right now.
Oh yeah, that is definitely for sure. We might have to have a few beers before we even start.
That's the only way to do it.
Yes. Stay tuned and...
Hey, we're gonna redneck this thing. Stay with us. So after looking at our 07 Street Glide and assessing the gas tank and looking at our gas tank covers, we have to make a little tiny notch right here. It's probably 1/8 of an inch, so this way it fits around the hose on the bottom of the gas tank. So like I said before, we're gonna have to redneck this thing. Again, this is a 07 Street Glide, and this is for a 2009 and up stretched gas tank side covers. We did have to notch a little bit right here. It's about 1 inch by 1 inch, just so we can get past the fuel line that goes underneath the gas tank. And we're going to mount it up and see how it fits. Perfect. Again, I had to do both sides because of that fuel line on the bottom there. Perfect. So on a 2007, you're going to get this rubber gasket that goes underneath your console, your gas tank console. Because the gas tank cover does lift up on the gas tank, it has a little bit less space around your knob there for your accessory switch. So you got to get rid of this and just use some. You can get these at anywhere hardware store, any AutoZone store. Just regular gaskets to go along the side here.
All right, so many of you guys have not worked on an 07, 06 and older. It is a pain to take out all the stuff from the inner fairing, swap them out. And Jason's doing a great job here. As you can see over there, we got the stereo, we have all the components. The bike is almost completely apart. But little by little, she is coming together.
Yeah, she's going to be just as fun putting her back together too. So.
Oh yeah, it's a good thing you have a good memory, right?
Yeah, right.
All right, stay tuned and watch Jason work his magic. Let's go.
Here we go. Let's do it. So basically, whenever you're doing an interfering for any Street Glide, A lot of people get turned off by the different amount of things you got to unplug. But the good thing about Harley is they make sure that everything has a one plug only. So you can't mess it up. Once I button everything up, it's going to go one way. The wire length is going to match up perfectly. The connectors are going to match up perfectly. Nothing in here is going to be mismatched. Nothing's going to be miswired. So fear not. If you get a little intimidated by connecting and disconnecting wires, it's not that bad. So the next thing we're going to do after this, we're going to button everything up. We're going to get all the wires in here. We're going to zip tie some stuff up, get it out of the way. And then I'm going to put on the front fairing and connect the headlight, and then we're going to bolt it up. And we're going to do a little test, make sure everything's working properly. One of the steps in between is making sure the cable length is perfect for the setup, and yeah, that's about it. Hey, so whenever you're switching out the inner fairing of a Street Glide or any type of motorcycle, you want to make sure you replace this rubber gasket. If you don't, it will rub off the paint. It will rub, and you get a lot of rattling. So you want to make sure you get a brand new gasket. Don't use the used wood stuff. It's usually dry rotted. It usually falls apart and tears. So get brand new gaskets for the outer seal of the inner fairing. Yep, just follow it around. It will fit. You just got to do it in sections. So as every builder knows, you always want to check, make sure everything works before you start buttoning up the outer fairing, because it never fails. You're always going to put everything back together, and then something's not going to work. So we're going to go ahead and check that right now. So we're going to check for blinkers. We're going to check, make sure the speakers work. Everything that was disconnected, we're going to make sure that we have signal. We got right blinker, left blinker, and the radio works too. So, all right, yep, everything's good to go. So we went ahead and swapped out the Daymaker that was on the original fairing. It is only 4 bolts to screw in, and then we put on the outer ring that holds it in by 1 bolt. Easy fix, easy install. And now we're going to go ahead and mount it on the bike. All right, guys, so as you guys already know, we're doing a upgrade with the Dominator Fender on our 2007 Street Glide. What we're doing is we're using the pre-existing Fender for a backbone for the new Dominator Fender, so that everything lines up. One of the problems I'm having right now is mounting the license plate and still being able to use the brackets. So what we're going to do is you're going to need to go ahead and do your 1-inch screw and washer, just drop it in the top. Our Dominator Fender license plate cover is curved, so you want to, again, use gravity as your friend. Okay, go ahead and get at least the first 2 bolts in, run your wire through, and line everything up. If you can get the first top ones in, the other ones will just line up. Let's take a little tugging and pulling. Now, I did that so that the screw, you're going to have to screw it down here to the bottom of the fender. So right now what we're going to do is go ahead and just loosely put the nuts on the screws that I just put in on the license plate cover. All right, guys, so what I did is I used a hex or a screw with a hex top on there. It's going to be a 10 mil, so I'm going to lift the license plate up, be able to connect it. And then just kind of singe it down the back. All right, yeah, once you get that done, you're able to put your existing screws through, and you can reach them on the other side. But not in there. And all right, we're finally done with the fender. We're about to mount it on our 2007 Street Glide. as you can see, heavily modified. Not really. There's a notch here that we notched out just to get to the original bracket for the mounting point, and then there's a slight hole right here that we drilled out. That's all we really did to the Dominator fender. We're putting tape on here so it doesn't scratch. It is a tight fit. We're not going to make sure we protect this paint at all costs and make sure it's still pretty for the owner. We did have to switch out some brackets. So this is the original the saddlebag bracket. We had to cut it down about 1/4 of an inch, as you can see right there. So a little thicker metal, but we still went 1/4 inch smaller just to compensate for the offset of the fender. Also, on the 2007, they have this rear bar, and this is what connects the strut, rear strut, and then the bottom of the exhaust frame. So we had to make a bracket for that. So this bracket here, excuse me, got it upside down. So this bracket here is the exact replica where the holes are going to go. This is going to be so that we don't need this to run around the back of the Dominator fender. So we're going to go ahead and put it on, and we'll show you what it looks like. My recommendation, this bike we really didn't touch much of the frame itself or the original parts. I would recommend chopping off this front part of the 2007 fender. It gets in the way, it kind of hurts against you when you're pulling against it, but we made it work. It is functional. Just if you do this on your own, I would recommend chopping off this section of the front fender. All right, so when we install this, it is going to be a tight fit. You want to make sure that these the exhaust brackets go to the outside of the Dominator fender, and that's where those brackets come in. All right, guys, as you can see, this is how the bracket is going to work on your 2007 Street Glide. You're going to put this one on first. This is for your strut mount. This mounts into the frame, and then you'll be able to line up everything else. Now, I do have everything loose so that it's a little easier to finagle. But like I said, it is a tight squeeze pinch. Not too much. We're putting a lot of pressure on it, but it is a good squeeze. So. But if you want to put the Dominator fender on your 2007 Street Glide, this is the right bracket to have.
Jason, right. This looks amazing. Tell me what you had to do with these brackets.
Well, we had to custom these brackets here to compensate for the bar that goes around here. We also had to do some custom brackets back here to bring in the saddlebags just a little bit closer. This is obviously an aftermarket kit that the owner of this bike had put on before. This is not stock Harley. So if you're going to do this yourself, just know that these brackets, you're going to have to either make these, or there are companies out there that you can purchase them, and you will have to shorten that bracket in the rear just to bring it in a little bit so you don't have a big gap back by the lights.
That's right. And then some of you guys might not have all the tools to make this, so you could have, like you said, aftermarket companies that do it. There's also a U-shaped bar that comes stock on this bike, and you could also just cut it and utilize that if you wanted to as well, so that you don't have to create your own bracketry. And tell us more about this, Jason. What else did you have to do to kind of make this work?
That's a good question, because it was actually it was fun, but it's challenging. So we actually used the original rear fender for the spine for this fender. It was almost a direct placement over. There was some massaging and finessing that we had to do to get it in there, but after a couple tries, we got it in there and we got the brackets all mounted up, and yeah.
Okay, and I see that you were able to do it without scratching this, which is really nice, because I would have scratched it a couple times, repainted it a couple times, you know.
Yeah, we used, we definitely, it was a tight fit, so we definitely used some painter's tape, and we definitely made sure that we had a second set of eyes on it at all times as we're going in from every angle.
All right, can't wait to see how it looks once everything's together.
Let's go, let's do it. So with this build, we used our gas tank cover. Pretty much 2 pieces that goes over the existing gas tank. The owner had a custom Lepera seat, and this gas tank is made for stock Harley seats. So we did have to do a little bit of trimming, just a little bit, about a 1/4 inch around the inside here, just so we can get the seat fitted.
All right, Jason, I see that it's complete. It looks awesome. I love it. I love the rear end, especially on an 07.
Yep.
So tell us, what was the good? What was the bad? What made you have a drink after work?
Well, the whole bike every day had maybe have a drink, but I think that's from bad habits. But no, the bike, it's a very clean bike. The owner takes very good care of it. There wasn't a lot of rust or anything on the bike, so easy peasy taking everything off. And when it came back to reassembling and putting the new parts on, most of it lined up almost 100% of the time. We do have a few places where we had to shave just like 1/4 of an inch here and a 1/4 of an inch there. Okay. But yeah, but one thing that was a challenge for me, I would say, is just making that rear end fit this bike. It is a 07 Street Glide, and we put a 09 to 13 rear fender on it, the Dominator.
That's right. And most people don't realize that Harley changed the frame completely in 08 to 09. So the 07 is completely different frame. This is not designed for that particular frame, but you made it work and it looks good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Whoa. Oh, yeah. I like that a lot.
And I know you're big on the lights.
I am, and
So there's the hyper lights.
oh, wow. Wow. Amazing. What, you guys really went above and beyond as usual. Thank you so much. Oh my God. Wow, I'm just, yes. Oh my God, and you got the lights too. Thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm speechless for once. Thank you, Advanblack. Thank you, everybody.
So basically, we replaced your inner and outer fairing for your 07 Street
Right.
Glide. We got the color match with the stretch tank covers. And again, you have a 07, but this is for a 09 and up.
I love it.
And we did the Dominator rear end with some slight modifications, but it came in perfect. It's nice and tight. Beautiful bike. Beautiful bike.
I love it. I think this is what I'm going to take to the love ride. Man, thank you so much. I don't even know what to say. I'm like freaked out.
Well, we're glad you like it.
Oh
Yeah,
my
we're
God.
glad you like it, for sure.
I mean, since day one, you've been on with me on the 2 journeys, not just this one, but the other one, and then now we're back there again. And this is just another one of those, oh my God, really? Wow. I'm tripping on the tank. The mirrors, everything. You guys really, wow. I love it. You know, it's funny because everybody was asking me where it was in the new place in the garage because they're used to seeing 2 bikes.
Yeah. It's safe.
We didn't see nothing. We didn't see nothing.
so this is an 07 with an 09 and 13 full body swap. We did the front. Obviously, we didn't do the side covers because he has a different exhaust that kind of does not allow for stretch side covers,
Yeah.
even though we only sell the stretch side covers. And if you guys want to see more builds like this, let us know what you guys want to see us try to do. Maybe we can make it work or not. And one good tip that you have for someone that wants to try this or not try this?
I would suggest that if you are going to try, make sure you just have the right tools in your shop or in your garage. This you can do in your garage. You can do it yourself. Everything I did here was just stuff that ordinary tools that you just need a grinder and some good mechanical knowledge. That's about it.
That's right. And so keep an eye out for our next crazy redneck build that we're going to have. And actually, we're going to have even some more really nice builds that will be completely bolt-on. So
Yep.
Stay tuned and see you guys next time.
See you next time.